is looking for a second date update with Rosie. They went out recently on a date, and he'd like a second one. Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Happy to. So take us from the beginning. How did you meet Rosie? How'd the first date go? And we'll kind of make our way from there.
So Rosie and I met on this little app known as Tinder. I know no one else uses it anymore yet. No, we were Tinder friends. And, you know, like we really seemed like we were kicking it off. Like, long story short, she ended up at my place 2 times on our 2 dates.
You went on 2 different dates.
We ended up going on 2 different dates, yeah. And, you know, I'm not like the best guy with women, so this is why I could really use your guys' help, because I don't really know where I went wrong. But so the first time we met out for drinks, and, you know, we both drank a lot, and she ended up at my place and did not stay the night, but did stay pretty late. And was the one that was like, hey, we should grab dinner. Like, I'd love to see you again. And, you know, I think we have good chemistry and stuff like that. So we go out to dinner, and she ends up at my place again. And we have to not give too much inside baseball here, we have an even better time than we did the first time. And now just completely ghosted after that. Like, no calls, no texts. Anytime there's been any type of communication, it's just been shut down. I'm just, I don't know where I went wrong. I mean, it seemed like everything was going well, so I could really use your guys' input on this.
Okay, take us back to the second night that she was at your place. What was the exit like? Did she leave that same night? Did she stay until the next morning?
No, yeah, she did stay the whole night, and she left, which seemed like she was happy the next morning. You know, there was no, like, incident or anything that indicated that I had either done something wrong, or she didn't say, like, hey, you said this or anything like that. No, she seemed happy, and she was even said, like, hey, call me.
I'm so glad you asked the question the way that you did, Lisa. How was the exit, as opposed to how you do sometimes? How was the dismount?
How was the withdrawal?
I think
How was the evacuation?
I was going to say, I landed the dismount.
That's funny. So she said, call me. Like, that you didn't have make plans for a third date. Like, because the first time she was leaving your place, she said, we should do dinner. This time it was like, hey, this was great, call me, or something. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, no, but that was exactly it.
And it didn't feel awkward at all.
No, it felt right. That's why, you know, when something, you assume something is right or correct, and you're like, yeah, this just makes sense. So it's even all the more confusing when it's not.
Yeah.
Right. At Rosie on Tinder. Actually went out a couple of times, went out for drinks the first time, and she ended up back at his place. She did not stay the night, but she stayed pretty late. And she said, like, hey, we should do dinner. This was great. He's fantastic. So he goes on a second date with her. They wind up at his place again. This time she stayed the whole night, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, you're looking for a relationship. Is that right? Like a serious relationship?
You're looking for love in all the right places.
I think we all are, yeah, but I'm more looking for an answer to, you know, what happened for this particular thing, because, like, I really liked Rosie, and I could see some type of future there. Yeah. But I also want to know, like, you know, why I was getting ghosted.
Yeah, why you went 2 for 2 and then got ghosted. So we're going to call Rosie and see what happened there. If you're ready, unless there's anything else you want to add before we start.
No, I'm ready. I'm anxiously waiting.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, is this Rosie?
Yes, who's this?
Hi, Rosie. It's Jeff, Jen, Fritch, and Tim at Q102. How are you this morning?
Oh, no.
Hi.
Morning. Happy day.
Morning.
Good morning. Have we ever spoken with you before?
I listened to the show, so I know what this is about.
Yeah, we did speak to Jason, and he really enjoyed the last 2 dates he had with you. He was left with the impression, too, of course, because we always, if you've ever listened to Second Date Update, we always say, well, you know, what was it like when they left? Did it feel awkward? Do you think anything went down? We try to go over the date and see if there was anything there that may have sent you running in the other direction, and he couldn't come up with anything. In fact, it felt very positive to him. You seemed like you were in a pretty good mood. And he recalled you telling him to call you. So what was up there?
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Run it by us.
Well, I left his house after our second date, and he was wearing SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas, like the whole shebang with the feet in it.
The onesie.
And
Like a zipper all the way up?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. He was wearing a SpongeBob onesie.
When you left or through the whole
Yeah,
thing?
when I left his house. Yeah.
Like after all the activities and festivities, he put this on and slept in it.
Exactly. And I mean, a SpongeBob t-shirt or like boxer shorts, that's one thing. But like the full onesie with the feet, it gave me the ick. It killed it for me.
They always look really comfy. I have some costumes that are like that are like those onesies, but they don't have the feet in them. That's where I get hung up. The feet. I just feel like I'm too encased.
You would be very hot.
I would be very hot. I need, an opportunity because in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping, I go to bed with socks on because we did a story once many years ago that said you get better sleep if you have socks on. But I'll tell you what, as soon as I start to get hot, that's the first thing that happens is the sock. My left sock comes off and my left foot comes out from under the blanket.
And I'm not convinced that's even good for your feet. I could be wrong about that.
Which part? Sleeping with socks?
Just having your feet encased like that. I don't know that would be.
Well, let me ask you this, Rosie. Does it have to do with the onesies or does it have to do with the SpongeBob?
Or both.
Or both.
I mean, I think it was mostly the onesie, but the SpongeBob was a surprise.
As if the onesie itself wasn't juvenile enough. Or infantile, maybe that's a better word.
Is that the word?
Yeah.
Do you see that as infantile or do you just see it as peculiar?
It's a bit infantile. That's why I was like, maybe he's not ready.
Well, I mean, direct quote, you said it gave you the ick. And that's sort of the fatal blow.
You're not finding anything sexy about that. Because, some of these outfits, they fall under that furry umbrella a little bit. Or
do they?
Some people think they're kind of, sexy. Role-playing opportunities there.
I did not find it sexy at all. It took away all the desire, if you know what I mean.
What if we get you a matching onesie with Mrs. Puff on it?
Or little Miss Kitty or something.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pass on the onesie.
She is very polite and upbeat when she's shutting you down, isn't she?
True.
Jason, how long have you had this onesie?
For a while. I mean, it's something that's very comfy that I like to wear. Also, I don't know why we're just in SpongeBob. SpongeBob is a legend. Like, he's the GOAT. So
also, SpongeBob, I mean, while it says it's rated Y7, that show is for adults. The jokes and the humor, that is not for kids. That's an adult thing.
It is a fast-paced, moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just something that I always liked. And, I just don't really think the onesie should be a deal breaker in what has been, I thought, like, a wonderful relationship. Like, I'm sorry, Rosie, that I donned this outfit. But it's definitely not it's not something I'm going to get rid of, but like, I don't have to wear it when you're around if you want to give it another go.
A compromise has been offered.
If I watched you walking around in your apartment in the onesie, the thought of having sex with you would never cross my mind, ever.
Understandable. But if we eliminate the onesie and then I have nothing on, and then as you remember, that seemed like it went just fine.
That could work.
Really?
We're saying goodbye to the onesie.
We're saying goodbye to the onesie when Rosie's around, and then when it's just Jason time, I could don it then when no one's watching because it's comfy. It keeps my feet warm. Like, I don't want to get rid of it, but I definitely also would much rather spend time with you than fight about this onesie.
Yeah, but what happens if the relationship develops and you guys sort of become a thing and she's around all the time?
What's going to happen is it's going to have a laundry incident when she's doing the laundry. It's going to be one of those situations.
It's just going to magically
These things
disappear.
that we women do. Or something gets destroyed and we just don't know how it happened.
Are you prepared for that, Jason?
I think I am. I think, you know what? This is how I know I like Rosie. I'm willing to take that risk.
Wow.
And also, Rosie might learn to embrace some of your quirkiness the more she gets to know you.
It's true.
Who knows? Maybe there might be two onesies at the end of this scenario.
It could.
But let's not push it, Jason.
The stronger personality always wins.
Well, then my money's on Rosie.
I really doubt the onesie situation.